So we are back in work orders in design view, and we're going to make a couple adjustments. When we added our sub-report, you'll notice that it kind of extended beyond the edge, beyond the actual data. So what we're going to do is click on that sub-report, and then we're going to just resize, hopefully. Move that over just a little bit for now. We're going to move this so that it's kind of at the same vertical spot as the end of description. And then you'll notice in the upper left corner, we have a green triangle. And what we're going to do is we're going to select that. And that's going to display the error smart tag. And we're going to click on that. And here it's telling us the report width is greater than the page width. And if you went through multiple pages in print preview, you probably already know that. So what we're going to do is tell it to remove the extra report space. Now it's important that you resize and get the controls in so that you can use this command. So we're going to go ahead, click on that, and it has made the report shorter or less wide, and now it should all fit on one page. Now I'm going to hit save. Our next task is going to be to add a page number at the bottom center of each page. And so we want it on each page, so we know it has to go into the page footer. And let's see. We are going to select page numbers. And the one we want is N of M. We want it in the bottom of the page, and we want it at the center. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And it has added that for us. Now, they would also like the current date and time added to the end of the report. So we're going to select date and time. And the format we want is this one. And including the time is correct. The time format we want is also the second option, just like the date. And it's showing us a little sample. That looks good. So we're going to click OK. Now you'll notice that it added the date and the time into the report header. And we said we wanted those to go into the report footer. So we have to click and shift and click. And we're going to go into our home ribbon and use the cut command. And then we're going to click down here in the footer and use the paste command. And then we're going to use that move, kind of move them over onto the right-hand side. And they would like us to resize these. They don't need to be quite that wide. About 3/4 of an inch is what they would like. So you need the double-headed arrow. Lots of different arrows here. And so when you've got it about 3/4 of an inch, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, about 3/4 of an inch. That's about as wide as you need it. And I'm going to save. If you are concerned that your date and time are going to be chopped off, go over to report view and take a look at them. And remember, anything that you put in the report footer is going to be at the very bottom. And I can see my date and time, so those look fine. And go back over to design view. And they would like 2 label control objects that display text. One will say date printed and the other one will say time printed. and they will go next to these two controls. So we're going to use our label button. We're going to click here, and we will key in date, printed, and a colon. And then we'll just kind of move this. And then we will do another one. And this is going to say time printed. And we will move that a little bit as well. And if you need to just move it a little bit, you can use your arrow keys. When you use the arrows, it is called nudging. I do it all the time. It is a nice way of trying to get things to line up. So let's hit save and go back into print preview. And we have to go to the very last page, and that is where we can see the date and time. Now, it did want us to take note that there was a little problem in our sub-report with the description. Apparently, some of them are chopped off. So we are going to be fixing that. So we're going to go back into design view here. Now, to make adjustments to our sub-report, it would be easier to do this just by isolating that report in design view. So we're going to close out of work orders here. And you'll notice that the sub-report is listed under reports. So we're going to right click on it and go into design view. And then we are going to kind of size and position these controls using the diagram that they've given us. And as far as the width on this, it should end at 7. And the service date heading looks fine. Total labor. They would like that to actually start at 2. Yes, that was a little bigger than it needed to be. And parts should start at about 4. So I'm just going to kind of size it and move it here. And for total work orders, we want that starting at 5. So I'm just going to kind of size it to display the text and move it over to 5. And then in the details section, service date should be okay. Total labor is a little wide. That can kind of end in alignment with total labor. And parts can kind of end lined up there with parts. And total work order is the same thing. We're actually going to move this one over a little bit. We will end it basically in the same location as that label. And at this point, we will save our sub-report, and we're going to close it. And now we're going to open up work orders. And why don't we look at this? We're just going to open it. That'll look at it in report view. And we should not see anything chopped off. And let's go back over to design view. I am going to resize this. For some reason, it keeps displaying larger. Let me move these over. Whoa. Okay, and we'll save our changes.